Here we have already started the lesson 6, administrative system and architecture during the medieval age. Now, in the previous video, I have explained you about the introduction paragraph which is given in the textbook. There is a small story, and also we have learned about the administrative system, how the kingship was done, how the king was made to sit on the throne, and how the administrative system was there in the villages at the time when there was medieval age, it means in the history. So, moving to our next topic, that is literature. Here we are also going to learn about what kind of literature, what kind of books the people were reading, and that means what kind of books were composed, what kind of books were written at that time. First, moving to our first line, scholars and education received great patronage from the kings. First of all, in the Rajput age, there were many books which were written. Okay, there were many stories about the kings, about the gods, many different stories. Some were based on the reality, some were based on the real life, and some were imaginary. That means some were based on the gods, like etc. Okay. Now, scholars and education. What do you mean by scholars? Scholars means learned man. The person who is having more knowledge, he is having knowledge about the written work, how to write, how to compose anything, poems banana, etc., etc., literature, stories banana, that were called scholars. And education, you all know, that studies. So these two things received great patronage. What do you mean by patronage? Patronage means support. Patronage means support. They were received support from kings. Actually, kings were giving support to them. They were giving support like financially support, those who are very bright in the studies, but if they want to pursue it, if they want to continue their studies, then they were giving support to them. Next, that is called patronage. Okay, financial support करना है, किसी भी चीज में support करना. For example, admission. Kings were helping them to admit in the universities or etc. Next is, many literary works were composed in many different languages. Okay, at that time many books were written in so many languages. For example, there was Sanskrit, Prakrit, Tamil, Kannada and Telugu, etc. Many languages were there. In all these languages, different books were written based on different topics. If we get some examples of some books. So there was an example given in textbook about Sanskrit poet Magh. एक Sanskrit poet Magh है, उनके लिए एक example दिया है that he has written Shishupal Vad. This book is based on how the Lord Krishna killed Shishupal. It is also the story given in the Mahabharata. If you have seen Mahabharata, you can remember how Lord Krishna killed Shishupal. This was written in the Sanskrit language as poet Magh was a Sanskrit poet. Next, there is an example of a poet, of a writer, you can say author, you can say Sri Harsh. Sri Harsh has written Naishad Charitra. Again I am saying Naishad Charitra. It is a story based on the two persons, Nal and Damayanti. Next, if we talk about this medieval age in the history, these are the books written by some poet, these are the examples, but there were also many songs, many poems, many things which were composed in the praise of Lord Krishna, and the songs which were sung by Radha and the gopis of Vrindavan. We all know the story. So many things were written based on their life, based on how the gopis were, they were singing songs for Radha and Krishna, or for Lord Krishna, like that. There were many songs which were composed. Next, there is an example of a poet, of an author, Hemachandracharya. Now, if we talk about Hemachandracharya, these were the stories written in the praise of Lord. These are the story of God, you can say. But there were many other books which were written on the life of king. Many books were based on the life of kings, their administrative system, how they were ruling, how they were living, what they were doing. So Hemchandracharya composed two books. First is Kumarpal Charita, next is Siddham Shubdanushasana. Kumarpal Charita is a book based on the life of a Solanki king of Gujarat. Kumarpal means there was a king Kumarpal. He was king of Gujarat. उनकी लाइफ में जो बुक लिखी गई है that is known as Kumarpal Charita and Siddham Shubdanushasana. ये ग्रामर बुक है. It is a grammar book. It is told that Hemchandracharya ने ही ये लिखा है. Next is if we talk about other things, और क्या क्या चीजें हुई थी, means compose की गई थी, written, what other things were written, one more thing was there, plays. कुछ plays भी लिखे गए थे. For example, भावपुटी, poet भावपुटी या writer भावपुटी, इन्होंने उत्तर रामचरित्र लिखा था. He has written उत्तर रामचरित्र. And other Pandit Narayan has written Hitopadesh. These are the stories based on Panchtantra. Panchtantra means Hitopadesh की जो stories है, these are based on Panchtantra. Moving to the next topic, that is architecture. Architecture, you all know that means in the medieval age, what kind of buildings, temples, all these things were constructed. So, if we talk about medieval age, that means in the Rajput age, it is told that many buildings were constructed by the Rajput kings. But among all the constructions, among all the buildings, the construction of temples is noteworthy. Means the temples which were made at that time, they are regarded as a masterpiece of their architecture. उनकी बहुत अच्छी चीज में गिने जाते हैं temples. And the kings, Rajput kings, were very much interested in that artistic architecture. बहुत अलग अलग तरीके का आर्किटेक्चर करने में बहुत इंटरेस्ट था उनका, and they were encouraging their other people to do that. And next is what comes in that architecture in that time. Architecture के अंदर क्या क्या आता था? What were there in the architecture? First thing is temple. As we have learned in this line that temple constructions बहुत masterpiece कहलाते थे. Next were forts. Forts were also there. Kile we call in Hindi. That palaces, all these things will come in the architecture. They were built very nicely. And at that time, that time's architecture is not seen today. आज के time में वो देखने को नहीं मिलता. Means on the walls there were many things which were walls पे भी बहुत अच्छी तरह से वो लोग paintings वगैरह बहुत अच्छा करते थे. Lakes आ जाते हैं. All these things will come in the architecture, and kings were doing, means kings were telling other people to do that. Now, if we talk about the first thing, that is temples. There were many such temples built in that age, Rajput age or medieval age. Means there is a long list. But few examples we can take out. First is the temple, Khajuraho temple we call. This temple is in Madhya Pradesh. Next, Puri temple of Lord Jagannath in Odisha. All these temples are famous for their grand artistic construction. Means इनका बहुत अच्छी तरह से जो बनाया हुआ है, बनावट जो है, architecture बहुत अच्छा है. So all these are famous for their architecture only, for their constructions. Now if we talk about another temple, that is Sun temple. Sun temples भी बहुत famous थे. At that time, a Sun temple of Konark was built in that time only, that time period, and it was also very famous because of its architecture, because उसकी जो बनावट थी उसकी वजह से. Next, one more thing is there in the Sun temple, that the Sun temple which was built in the Konark, it was built with very finesse, मतलब बहुत अच्छी तरह से उसकी कारीगरी की गई थी, and it was shaped like a chariot driven by 7 seals. Again I am saying, the Sun temple of Konark was shaped like a chariot driven by 7 horses. That means it was, अगर उसको हम देखें दूर से, Sun temple को अगर देखें दूर से, तो ऐसा लगता था that it is built in the shape of a chariot और 7 horses are there, वो लेके जा रहे. As we all know that sun, God's son, Lord's son is having a chariot. तो chariot पे उनका रथ होता है. Chariot means रथ. So that is why it was shaped in the shape like chariot. Next is सन टेम्पल का एग्जाम्पल्स ले लेते हैं कुछ. वन इज इन द कश्मीर मर्तान टेम्पल, इट इज ऑल्सो अ टेम्पल ऑफ लॉर्ड सन. गुजरात में मोटेरा सन टेम्पल, इट इज ऑल्सो एन एग्जाम्पल ऑफ सन टेम्पल. These all are of one deity, एक भगवान के हैं, that is Lord Sun. Next is what is the? These all are sun temple. Okay, remember that thing. Next is there is one specialty about the temple, sun temple in Modera. First sun rays directly fall on the idol. जो पहली sun की rays आती है, that directly fall on the idol, means जो मूर्ति है सन टेम्पल्स लॉर्ड सन की, वहां पे फर्स्ट सन रेज पूरी जब भी निकलती उस पे ही पड़ती है. सो दिस वाज द स्पेशलिटी ऑफ सन टेम्पल. नाउ देयर इज अ मोर पॉइंट गिवन इन द आर्किटेक्चर. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल देयर इज अ पॉइंट ऑफ इलोरा केव्स of Deccan, that means in the South India Deccan region, you already know in the map. So there are Ellora caves. These are the caves which are giving us the information about Hinduism, Buddhism and Jainism. Means the caves are built, उनको जो बनाया गया है, और these are constructed. In that there are many things which are constructed according to the religion. बहुत सारी चीजें अंदर बनी हुई है, मूर्तियां, idols, sculpture, whatever you call. So these caves gives us information about three religions: Hinduism, Buddhism and Jainism. Remember this point. And also in that Kailash temple is very famous. Next we are talking about Elephanta caves now. Elephanta caves are near Mumbai. It is in the Arabian Sea. Arabian Sea के वहाँ है. And these are very beautiful caves, and inside these caves there is a one main important thing. Inside these there is a three-faced sculpture of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva का एक मूर्ति टाइप स्कल्पचर बनाया गया है. थ्री फेस, उनके तीन फेस दिख रहे हैं वहां पे. So this is these caves are very much famous because of these. So I hope that Elephanta caves and Ellora caves are clear. Next, in the South India there is a very famous temple, Meenakshi temple. I know that you know this temple. You have seen the picture. It is in Madurai. It is very famous temple of South India. Many people go to visit that temple just to see how the construction is done. Next is temples of South India. There is one more point for South India temples, that these are well known for their imposing gateways called gopurams. Means इनका जो construction होता है, it is totally different from the North India. In the South India temples are having a gateway, a big gateway. मतलब बहुत बड़े-बड़े gateways होते हैं वहाँ पे, and gateways के पास में towers होते हैं. डिफरेंट अलग अलग स्ट्रक्चर्स के बने हुए. सो इनको गोपुराम्स कहते हैं. ठीक है, गोपुराम्स. एंड इसीलिए साउथ इंडिया के टेम्पल्स आर वेरी फेमस. इनके कंस्ट्रक्शन उनका बिल्कुल डिफरेंट है, इसीलिए उनका थोड़ा स्पेशलिटी दिखा रहा है. नेक्स्ट, because of this temples, because of the vast grandeur, very much artistic famous, ये मतलब बहुत सारे फेमस थे ये टेम्पल्स. इनके अंदर बहुत अच्छी आर्टिस्ट्री, कारीगरी बहुत अच्छा किया हुआ था. And इसीलिए many outside foreign invaders also came to loot these temples. मतलब क्या करने आते थे, वो लूटने आते थे. मतलब इनका यहाँ का जो temples के अंदर whatever gold is there, whatever money the temples has collected, वो सारी चीजें वो लेके, ये मूर्तियां जो सोने की होती थी वो, that also the foreign invaders came to loot. वो आते थे यही देख के. इसलिए इंडिया was regarded as a rich country because of these things. Okay, इतने बड़े बड़े टेम्पल, इतना अच्छे से ग्रैंड वास्ट जो चीजें बनी हुई थी अंदर, मूर्तियां. That is why बहुत सारे लोगों ने कब्जा करने की, लूटने की कोशिश की. Among them one example is there, Somnath temple, जिसको बहुत बार, this temple is situated in Gujarat. It is the temple which was invaded many times. मतलब कि बहुत सारी, मतलब बहुत बार इसको अटैक किया गया, इसके ऊपर अंदर से चोरी करने की कोशिश की गई सारी चीजें. That is why it is very famous. So what we have learned? We have learned now about the Ellora caves, Elephanta caves and Meenakshi temple. Also South India, the temple, there is a Gopuram, and also because बिकॉज साउथ इंडिया फेमस गोपुर है, वहां पे बड़ी बड़ी गेट्स होती थी. ऑल्सो सोमनाथ टेम्पल के बारे में अभी हमने पढ़ा. So this was all about our topic architecture. We will start a new topic in the next session. Till then, stay safe, stay home. Thank you.